What's up, guys? Today I'm in the 2012 Bentley Mulsanne. This vehicle was available at H. Greg Lux in Pompano Beach, Florida. And I just want to thank them for allowing me to take this beautiful car out today to review it and show you guys what it's all about. Alright, here she is, the 2012 Bentley Mulsanne. Finished in this nice gloss white color over the tan interior. And as you can see, it's a very long car. Standard long wheelbase, rear-wheel drive format, as well as a front-engine V8, which is actually Bentley's very old 6.8 liter or 6 3/4 liter V8. It's twin turbocharged, connected to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, produces 505 horsepower and like 750 or 752 pound-feet of torque, which is absolutely insane. There's actually a Bentley Speed variant of this car for the Mulsanne that produces over 550 horsepower and I think like 811 pound-feet of torque, which, I mean, 750 is already more than you need, but the car weighs 5,700 pounds, so I think it needs all the torque it can get. We've got that classic Bentley tapered rear end with the LED taillights, but the proportions back here are nice. All the chrome bright work, dual exhaust. Probably one of my favorite parts about the exterior of the Mulsanne are the headlights. Looks like it's straight off of a 1920s, 1930s car. You have these giant, lantern-looking headlights here, the big LED running lights, and it says Bentley Motors inside the headlight. And you have the little turn signal out here. You have your radar cruise control sensors, parking sensors, lots of chrome. You have the Bentley Flying B here on the hood. No sunroof or panoramic roof, but that is an option. It looks very clean without it. Now we're going to turn on the headlights and hazard lights. You guys can get a look at them. Now we're going to open up the hood and get some startup and revving sounds, so you can hear that twin turbo V8. Alright, we've got the headlights and hazard lights on the Bentley Mulsanne. It's got nice bi-xenon low and high beams, as well as the LED amber turn signals here. You got the LED side markers down here, as well as indicators in the mirrors themselves. Not very bright, but probably seeing better at night. Got rear side markers over here. And the taillights are LED units, and the turn signal is only the center oval. Pretty cool. But another cool part about this car are the daytime running lights. So we'll turn off the headlights here. Put it back to auto. Turn the hazard lights off. We'll start it up. Soft closed doors. So the DRLs are really just the lower part. And then you've got the low beams here, which is the middle projector, and the high beams is this row of extremely bright LED lights. I don't know if you can see that. They are insanely bright. Very cool. Alright, so now let's open the hood up, get a look at that twin turbo V8. As you can see, hand built in Crewe, England. 6 3/4 liter twin turbo. Get some sound clips for you guys. Alright, and before we close the door, I just want you guys to notice, you hear that truck over there? Very, very loud. The second that I close the door, which is soft close, completely silent. The only thing you can hear is the air conditioning and the fans in the ventilated seats. That's one thing these cars do very well, is sound insulation. between the double pane windows, the extremely thick door cards, and the door sills, and just the overall fit and finish of everything and the build quality. Everything fits how it's supposed to. There's no creaking or loose parts. There's no gap that wasn't meant to be there or designed or intended to be a certain way. It's just perfect. Now, just like the exterior, the interior is simply extravagant, which is nothing short of what you expect for a Bentley, especially a flagship Bentley. But this being a 2012, it looks kind of dated in here. Very low tech. Like, you've got this backup camera here you can turn on with just pressing the parking button. So you do that, or you can turn it on. And it's only a backup camera. It does show a top-down view, but only for the parking sensors. And it's very low res. I can actually see the pixels kind of moving around. It's very, very fuzzy and hazy. And it just looks dated. And in 2012, there were cars with higher resolution backup cameras. Bentley has just always kind of been behind the curve when it comes to technology. Now, this car does have things like adaptive cruise control, which is actually kind of a rare option for these. No lane keep assist, which would be the camera that's up here, but it's not there. And it still has your classic giant chunky buttons, and they're all plastic. They're very clear, and you know what you're pressing when you're driving, but many cars like the new Panamera, also in the VW group, have moved towards haptic feedback buttons, so you still get this glossy finish, but in a more elegant, modern design, where you have all this down here with all your regular controls, but where this is a big clunky button for the parking brake, and you have the auto hold, it would be a haptic feedback. So it would be a screen, basically. You press it, it gives you feedback, kind of like an iPhone screen, and that's that. But you've got this giant shifter here, which is, well, it's aluminum, leather wrapped and nice. It just feels old. But it's not a new car, so we'll cut it some slack there. And for about 100 years, what Bentley has been known for is using the most amount of leather and wood and metal possible in a car's interior. And the larger the car, you guessed it, the more leather, wood, and metal that's used. Now, I don't know how many cows had to give their life just to furnish this interior, or how many trees had to be cut down, but their sacrifice wasn't for nothing, because everywhere you look and touch in this car is either wood, metal, or leather. Literally everything, with the exception of the buttons, which are kind of this nice acrylic covered plastic. But even then, everything is just, everything's knurled. What Bentley loves doing is doing this knurled finish on all their knobs. Even the window switch over here. And you've got the Bentley crest pretty much everywhere. The steering wheel, the door panels, the seats, the back doors right here. Got the back seats. And I'm sure several other places. And if you got the logo for Bentley mode right here on the shifter, pretty much everywhere. Of course, twice on the gauge cluster, because why not? And similar to pretty much every modern Rolls-Royce model, if you don't like the way that outdated looking infotainment screen looks, and you've got your music going or your navigation, and you just want it to go away, you hit this button, and it simply goes away, revealing another Bentley crest. See, I knew one was hiding somewhere in here. So that, just like that, becomes one continuous piece of wood. Probably an entire tree, just on the dashboard alone. And it continues over here, wraps around the B-pillar, goes through the passenger door here, back through the C-pillar, and around. Yeah, this car is really something else. You've got your dome lights here, reading lights, all LED, so somewhat modern. Got another reading light here. Got your garage door openers. Turn those off. Of course, the entire headliner is wrapped in leather. No sunroof or panoramic roof, but you do get basically an entire cow above your head. You got the this kind of beige leather that is very prone to getting dirty. but it's still nice. It's getting kind of dirty here. You've got a light up here, not an LED, which is weird because these are LEDs here, but you got a nice mirror. Close that. And just the leather goes all the way down to the A-pillar. So there's no seams, there's no sign of, you know, any shortcomings as far as quality goes. There's carpet in all the right places and leather. So everything, like where your knee rests here for the accelerator, that's all soft leather. So there's actually another Bentley logo down there on the brake pedal, which is very cool. The car has a very, very thin accelerator pedal. Very nice. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear this car's 6 3/4 liter twin turbo V8. Not a V12 or W12, but a V8, which has been around for about 60 years, I think. They're finally going to retire with the new generation Mulsanne that's coming out, I think either later this year or sometime next year. Let's check it out. So just like an American muscle car, the whole car shakes back and forth, which is hilarious. And it's over 700 foot-pounds of torque. I think in the neighborhood about 750 pound-feet of torque. But see if we roll down those double pane windows, maybe we can hear the blow-off valves for the turbos. All right, and you still got these classic analog gauges here. One is showing the mile an hour that goes basically reverse. I don't want to say the wrong way, but it just goes the other way. And you've got the RPMs that also go reverse, or the other way. And you've got this small digital screen here. Go to the various menus, telephone, radio, all your, you know, trip information, stuff like that. Navigation. Not a lot, nothing's configurable like new cars, but got manual mode here. I don't know who wants to go into manual mode in the Mulsanne, but you do have paddle shifters. They are aluminum, they're very nice. You got the adaptive cruise control stock here. Turn signal stock. Everything is just, you know, metal. And even if it is plastic, it's a nice, you know, finish here. The design. Same goes for the windshield wiper stock. And similar to other Bentley and even Rolls-Royce models, to control the air conditioning vents and the airflow, you have these organ stops, which are actually pretty cool. And it's got some airplane looking gauges here. So you got your fuel gauge, clock, and then your oil temperature there. Got more AC vents with the organ stops. You have a little LED light up here. Nice. Huge glove box with a 6-disc CD changer, and looks like something for an SD card slot. I guess that's for DVDs and that's for CDs. So you got a cigarette lighter in there. Pretty cool. Also completely lined in leather. You got your memory seating on the passenger doors, as well as over here. And the seats have this amazing, either black or dark brown piping. I really can't tell. Partially colorblind. You got the Bentley crest there. You got all the perforations for your ventilation. My GoPro. And they're very comfortable seats. It's I wouldn't say that it rivals a Maybach or, you know, any new S-Class or something like that in terms of bolstering, but it's very comfortable. You know, the headrests do their job. You got the pull handles up here, which are fully leather. Everything's leather. I think it's time to go check out the back seat. All right, step into the back seat of the Bentley Mulsanne. Now the back seat of this car is really where the Mulsanne shines, because as fun as it is to drive and nice, it's not the smaller Flying Spur or the Continental GT. Those are really driver's cars. This is more of a chauffeur car. So you got these tray tables here, fold in, come out, that, put that in for now. And sitting behind myself I'm about 5'11". I've got plenty of room. Let's see what we got. Center console. So while kind of dated, it's still amazing for a 2012. You've got all your controls here. So you've got rear ventilated seats and heated seats if you want. Not in the dead of Florida summer though. And I've got all your controls for the power seats. Seems to be missing a few pieces, but we'll gloss over that. You've got your massage function, which is actually working right now. It's pretty awesome. You can move the chair forward. We'll just use the passenger seat for demonstration. So he moves forward. So you can see it moving out. You've got a mirror there if you want to look at yourself. Alright, we'll move around to the passenger side so we have a little bit more room. Soft closed doors. You've got your power shades here. And you got the other side over there. I think I'll keep them up. It's pretty hot out. And similar to the infotainment screen up there, if you don't want to see this control panel, you simply close it and it goes behind a giant piece of wood. And you've got all your controls up here. So you've got your power shade control there. You've got more dome lighting up here, reading lights. Big nice panel here. And you've got a tray table, which, like some newer Bentley models, and possibly even this one too, I don't know if it's an option, it would usually come with a screen here that would pop out. But instead, you've got your tray table to work or eat your lunch. You got storage here, cigarette lighter. And you got your AC controls. The organ stops here. You've got speakers everywhere. You got another vent over here, right on the B pillar, similar to, you know, like S classes and 7 Series and stuff like that. All right, guys, we're going to take the 2012 Mulsanne for a little ride, see how it does. Right now, I've got it in Bentley mode, which is basically the optimum balance of performance, comfort, luxury, and everything that goes with that. All right, let's see how it does U-turns. It's a very big car, has no rear wheel steering, but it does pretty good. It's got a nice turning radius for such a big barge. And the air suspension rides so nicely. Back here on this corporate park road, it's very rough from all the big semi-trucks driving over it. Lots of potholes and dips. Not ideal for a supercar, but for a big luxury car like this, it leans into turns. It has just the right amount of body roll, especially in Bentley mode. It kind of just floats. It does what it's supposed to. It's a Bentley and nothing more. Not only is it very quiet in here, but I'm also probably talking a lot louder than I need to. You can probably hear me whispering right now. I don't know if you can hear me whispering, but it's very quiet in here. Alright, we've still got it in Bentley mode. Gonna make another U-turn. This one's actually a lot tighter than before. And the Aventador right here almost didn't make it, but this one actually makes a tighter U-turn than an Aventador, which is not really that surprising. But alright, right off the get-go, the 752 pound-feet of torque absolutely rockets you ahead. And you could throw it into a turn. Let's put it in sport mode for the hell of it. So right now I've got it in sport mode, which instantly firms up the air suspension. It still rolls around just like a big, almost 6,000 pound boat, you know, you'd expect it to, but you can confidently throw it into turns, and it's definitely very, very nicely composed. There's not much steering feel. I can't really, it's hard to tell sometimes where the wheels are pointed if you aren't looking at the steering wheel, but it does feel very nice. Turn around one more time and do a little bit of a launch. See what 750 plus pound-feet of torque feels like off the line. being rear-wheel drive, I don't know if it's going to blow its tires off or not, but we'll see. Alright, so traction control came on, tripped the tires a little bit, but definitely feels fast, or as fast as something this heavy could feel. You get a nice sound from the blow-off valves from those turbos. It's a very large V8. Usually the V12s and the Rolls Royces are 6 3/4, but Bentley chose to have a V8 that size, and it's great for throttle response. It's a very free revving engine, even being turbocharged. It's I don't really feel much turbo lag. There's so much torque from the low RPM range. Alright, now let's put it back into Bentley mode. And right away, it softens the suspension up, loosens the steering, so it gives you more of a boaty feel. But it's still nice and compliant, just enough to handle these curves. And you can probably tell from the camera moving so much, but these are very rough roads back here. And they're not ideal for sports cars, but like I said earlier, for a big car like this, it's got no problem handling it. Really just glides into the turns. And because it does have bigger wheels, you do feel some of the undulations, some of the small bumps here and there, but with the rebound of the air suspension, you do feel a lot less than you would in, say, an S-Class or even a lesser model Rolls Royce like a Ghost or something. This is definitely a more higher end air suspension, and you could feel it. So once we turn onto a smoother road. So you instantly notice. And like I said, the steering feedback is not terrible. I've been in worse cars, but that's not the point of this car. It's not a sports car. It's meant to kind of disconnect you from the road, give you a feeling of being above everyone else on a cloud, both figuratively and literally, because the seating position in this car is not like my S-Class, where you're sitting a lot lower, but you're sitting much higher in this car. You can see over the flying bee on the hood. It's just an overall nice place to be. And this vehicle is available at H. Craig Lux in Pompano Beach, Florida. It's part of their amazing inventory full of luxury and exotic vehicles. This one's not going to last, so I suggest if you're interested, you come check it out. Alright guys, well that should do it for this review of the 2012 Bentley Mulsanne. We'll see you next time.